Hey friends, welcome back to your Good Life Now podcast. I am Frankie Martinez, and I am so excited that you decided to join in today and listen to this podcast. This episode is going to be so amazing because we are talking about life purpose, and life purpose is such an amazing topic because it's so valuable, it's so vital, and that's actually the topic, the title of this episode is why having a life purpose can make you live longer. I read this article this week that I want to share with you. It says people who wake up with a sense of purpose live up to 7 years longer than those who don't. I'm going to read that again. People who wake up with a sense of purpose live up to 7 years longer than those who don't have a sense of purpose, have a sense of meaning. I mean, that statement alone is very amazing, I think. And it's just inspiring to show how important life purpose is to us. Let me read you a few things I read in this article. It says, Dr. Robert Butler, director of the National Institute on Aging, estimated that an ability to define your life meaning adds to your life expectancy. Individuals who expressed a clear goal in life, something to get up for in the morning, something that made a difference, lived longer and were sharper than those who did not. Check that out. Another study published by the Journal of the American Medical Association has linked a strong sense of purpose with a lower risk of all-cause mortality after the age of 50. They found that people with the lowest sense of life purpose were twice as likely to have died than those with a strong sense of purpose. I mean, check this out. One more statement. It says, it's also believed that a strong sense of purpose in your older years may act as a buffer against stress and help reduce overall inflammation, in turn, lowering chances of suffering from Alzheimer's disease, arthritis, and stroke. Wow. All these health benefits just by having a sense of life purpose. What that tells me is, first of all, I think we are inclined to know why we're here. As humans, we want to know why we're here. We want to know that we do have a purpose, that we do have a meaning, that our life in this world that we live in is not an accident. We're not here on accident. We're not here by chance. The Big Bang did not happen. I'm sorry, but there is no way that somebody can take a whole bunch of stuff, throw it in a box, or just mix it all together and create something by design. It's like, I heard it said, it's like taking all the pieces and parts of your watch, throwing them in a box and just shaking it all together and having it by chance assemble into this watch. It doesn't happen. There is a creator that created us. We are here for a purpose and for a reason. And when we have that sense of purpose, when we wake up in the morning knowing that there's a reason for us being here, when we wake up in the morning with a sense of, I'm here on a mission, on assignment, there is something for me to do, it can add up to 7 years of your life. I mean, alone, it could, so many health benefits, like I just talked about. Those are just a few articles. There's plenty more. And by the way, if you want to research these articles, you could check out bluezones.com. I think it's www.bluezones.com. I'll put a link in the description if you want to check that out. But you find these articles I found and discovered, and it's pretty amazing that having a sense of purpose and meaning in life will improve your physical health, your mental health, and overall quality of life. I mean, this tells me that life purpose has got to be a priority for us, has got to be something that we are aware of, that we know what our life purpose is. And let me ask you that. Do you know your life purpose? Do you know why you're here? What are you here on this earth for? Why is your heart still beating? It's still beating for a reason. You're here for a reason. You have a purpose. And man, when you discover that purpose, it makes you come alive. If you don't know me by now, I love talking about life purpose. It's one of the three building blocks, I think, of to the good life, living your good life. It's to me, living your good life is faith, family, and purpose. Those are three key components to live a fulfilled life. And when you embrace your purpose while you're here, it just, it makes things come alive for you. Things that would bug you don't bug you anymore because you are on a mission, you're on assignment. But check this out. And I have plenty of our early podcast episodes on purpose, but it's so important that I wanted to talk about it again. And that's why we're in this series about it. But there was another study, I think it's linked to in that same article on the bluezones.com. There's another article I was reading that said that the number one reason, now this is interesting because first of all, we know life purpose is important. Not only does it help you live a more fulfilled life, but according to the studies I just showed you, where they did tests on, I think 7,000 people in one test and another test, I don't know the number there, but they found out that life purpose and meaning does extend your life, your body, makes you healthier. What? That's amazing. So impressive. But this study is a little bit sadder because it says that the number one reason why people don't know their life purpose is time and busyness. Time and busyness. Now imagine that. Imagine being so busy that you don't even know why you're here. Now, I don't want to, I don't know, knock people for that because I was in that boat before. I was in the boat in my early years growing up. I was constantly wondering, what am I here for? What is my life purpose? What am I here for? Why am I here? But I think it's interesting to know that the number one thing that holds people back from finding their purpose is they're too busy. They don't have time. Imagine being too busy doing that you don't have time to discover who you really are. I mean, that's sad because if you don't have time to discover who you are, what's going to happen towards the end of your life? Some people, I guess, would never discover who they are. Now that's sombering for me to think about. Imagine going through life and not even realizing who you really were. Imagine going through life and not even realizing what you were really here for on this earth. Oh man, that's sombering. That is too sombering. And that is not what we want. That's not what you're going to get because you are listening to your Good Life Now podcast. You are here. You have subscribed. You have liked and followed and done all the good things. You're here because you want to live a better life. You want to live a more fulfilled life. So that will not be you because I am committed to helping you live your good life now. That's part of my mission here on earth, part of my purpose. And man, I got great things to share with you about that. I got some very exciting news I'm going to share towards the end of this podcast. So make sure you stay tuned till the end because it's going to help you. It's all for you, the listeners. So, but imagine if our schedules, I'm sure you guys heard the saying. You heard the saying saying, we are human beings, not human doings. Human beings, not human doings. I'm sure you heard that saying. I've heard it many times, and it's true. Sometimes we can get caught up doing so many things that we don't have a chance to be who we really are. Don't have a chance to be who we were created to be. Imagine that, not having the opportunity to be who you are because you're too busy doing stuff. Now don't get me wrong. Some stuff we got to do. You got to provide, you got to work, you got to, discipline yourself and exercise and do all these things, spend time with your family. There's so many things you have to do in life, but I'm not saying to don't do those things, but I am saying that maybe it's time for us to carve out some time in our life to be who we are, to discover who we are. Now, think about that. If most people don't have the time to even discover their life purpose, because it's not something that, when you buy something, when you buy a piece of equipment or a tool or a product, it comes with an instruction manual. This is what it's for. This podcast Mixcast I just bought is right here. And so here it is. And when I bought this, it came with instructions. Push this button to do this. Push this button to do that. And it tells me exactly the purpose of this console, this device I have right here. All right. But in our life, we don't come with instruction manual, and nonetheless we don't come with a purpose. So what is our purpose for? What are we here for? We don't have that. So we are left to discover that, to find that. And for some people, it is a lifelong discovery. For some people, we find it early on in life. But regardless of how or when you discover it, it is something that you have to do intentionally. It does not just fall in your lap sometimes, I mean, for some people, I'm sure that happens. But for most of us, we have to kind of discover it, kind of dig deep into ourselves and kind of find out, do some research, do some real deep dives on how we work, how we function, what we're here for, what we do, what we're good at, what we're not good at, and all these things to help us discover who we really are. And I want to ask you that. When's the last time you spent a good amount of time on you, on who you are, on what you were created for? As a person, as a human, not a human doing, but a human being. Okay. We know you do a lot of things and we all do a lot of things, but when have you spent time trying to figure out why you do the things you do, why you like the things you like? These are some of the questions and things that you discover when you are trying to discover your life purpose and all the good stuff that comes with that. I mean, have you ever given yourself, let's just give, for example, have you ever given yourself even 1 hour of undivided attention to discover the meaning of your life and your life purpose? I mean, we spend a lot of time researching, how to exercise properly, what we should eat, how to have a better marriage, how to have be a better parent, how to be successful in our careers. But have you ever spent time wondering why you're built the way you're built and what would help you live the most fulfilled life? Because as the saying goes in the airplanes, they say when the airplane is going down and the masks fall off and you have children around, what do they say? Put the oxygen mask on yourself first before your children. Because if you don't put it on yourself first, you will not be able to help anybody. And so you're all going down. But if you put the oxygen mask on yourself first, then guess what? Now you are okay and now you're ready to help people. And the unfortunate thing is sometimes in life, we get so focused on everybody else, on all these things around us that we lose sight of us. And if you don't put the oxygen mask in a sense on yourself first and find out your purpose, what makes you fulfilled, then you're not playing at your fullest. You're not reaching your fullest potential. Your purpose unlocks your potential. So unless you find your purpose, you'll never tap into your greatest potential. You got to find your purpose to unlock your potential. And once you unlock your potential, then you're living life at its fullest. You are living a fulfilled life. And guess what? Not only are you just feeling great, but you are impacting the people you love the most in a positive way. You're bringing your best self to the table. You're offering and presenting your best self, and you will be most successful and be able to thrive and really help those around you to thrive too. So it's something that we need to focus on. And don't beat yourself up if you haven't. Most people haven't even considered it a possibility. But like I said, I do have some great news for you at the end of this podcast to help you with that, because I had to do some deep dives into my life purpose as well. And now don't get me wrong, we all have a sense of our life purpose, but it's really empowering to do a deep dive and to create a life purpose statement. Have you ever created a life purpose statement? I mean, that in and of itself is empowering. And I'm going to tell you a little bit about how I did mine right after I share this statement with you, because I want to leave you with something very powerful. And it's this, that your purpose is not your profession. This will just help you kind of find your life purpose just a little bit. It'll help lead you down the right track, okay? That your purpose is not your profession. Now, this is so important because a lot of times we attach our purpose to a profession, to a position, to even a role that we play. But it's important to detach your purpose from your profession, from your role, from a position that you hold. And the reason is because your purpose isn't your profession means that you can express your purpose through your profession. You can express your purpose through a role, through a position, through things that you do, but that's not who you are. Who you are is your purpose. Who you are is your real purpose, and how you express it could be through a position, could be through a role, it could be through your profession, your career, your job. You can express it. But the problem is when you attach your purpose to your role, like I am, a teacher, I am this, a contractor or a pastor or a leader. And that's what you do. That's not who you are. Who you are is your purpose, and that's what makes you really come alive. And the reason this is so important is because you got to understand our purpose. Forgive me, I said that wrong. Our professions will change. Our positions may change. Our roles may change. Different seasons of life, we play different roles. Maybe you get lucky and have the same career all your life, but maybe you switch things up. For the most people, your careers, your positions, your roles, they will change throughout life. And what happens is if you attach your purpose to a specific role, when that role changes in your life, you're going to be devastated. You're going to feel like you don't know who you are anymore. You're going to feel like you've lost your identity, and that could lead to a very dark place. And I've been there before when I've switched different positions and roles, and it's not a nice place. But what really empowers you is to realize that wasn't your purpose. That was how you expressed your purpose at that time. Who your purpose is who you are. It's who you are. And when you can detach that from your careers or roles and stuff like that, then when you go through that transition, when you go through a change, when you change your roles or your career or profession or positions change in any area of your life, when you go through those transitions, you're going to go through it a lot better and a lot stronger, and you're going to come out more powerful because you're going to realize, the positions change whether you want it. Sometimes you want it to change, sometimes not. But regardless, even when you want a position to change, you can lose your sense of identity just because your identity was locked up in that position. But now that it changed, you're like, well, who am I really? You're doubting yourself. You're going through a hard time. Well, let me tell you, let me set you free real quick right now, is that you are not your profession, position, or role. That's not your purpose. Your purpose is who you are. And so when you discover who you are, guess what? When you go through those changes, through those transitions, guess what? You can now say, well, that was how I was expressing myself in that role, profession, position. And now that I'm transitioning, now I'm going to find a greater way to express myself. And guess what? Now your purpose doesn't shift. You don't lose sight of your purpose. You don't go through the deep dive into darkness. You stay on the high path because you realize your purpose is who you are. It's not what you do. And you can express it in many ways. You can express your purpose through this, through that. So say you've gone through a big transition and change. Well, guess what? Your purpose has not changed. Who you were created to be has not changed. So guess what? Now find a new way to express it. And if you can find a new way to express it, then guess what? You are in a more powerful state and place because now you are still tapping into your power. Man, your purpose is your power, and that's where you want to be. You want to walk into your purpose, live in your purpose, fulfill that, and that's where you find your power and unlock your potential. It's an amazing place to be, and it's a journey that doesn't come easy. It comes through, well, for all the time. Sometimes it will. It will if you listen to this podcast and join the things I'm about to invite you to. Okay, so but it's so important to understand that, because when you have that big transition or change or whatever, if you are able to detach your purpose from your position or profession, guess what, man? You can just keep walking in power and go from one level to the next and go higher and higher and higher. I always say that God always calls us higher and never lower. So whatever transitions or changes you've gone through, it's always working for your good. It's always working for your good, to serve you, to take you to a greater place, a better place. And if you have trouble discerning that, it's probably because you attached your purpose to what you were doing. And if you attach your purpose to who you are, it don't matter what changes around you, because you are constant. You stay the same. Your purpose is there, and you can express your purpose in so many different ways. And so in order to do that, to express yourself in all these ways and to live the most fulfilling life, right? That's a life of fulfillment, walking in purpose and embracing your purpose, living in purpose. And I mean, there's all that power is connected to you discovering your purpose, unlocking your potential, and living it out, expressing it, and just sharing it with the world. The world needs what you have to offer. You have a great purpose that you were created to release on this earth, and the world is waiting for you to tap into that, to live at your fullest potential, to stop playing short. But the only way you can really do that is when you are confident and certain in who you are, why you're here, and what your purpose is. And that is a journey that I hope to help unlock with you on this podcast as we keep talking about different avenues of purpose, different perspectives on purpose. But if you want some help, I have some great news for you that I'm so excited to announce on this podcast right now, and you get to hear it first, is I have decided to share some great insights on how I helped discover my purpose. I discovered it, when I was 14. That was a very prominent place in my life. When I first gave my life to Christ, I discovered purpose into that. But through the years, I had to redefine it, my purpose and really what God made me for. And one of the most impacting things I did was I went through some training when I was becoming a life coach. I paid quite a bit of money to go through a lot of training for life coach training. And some of those practices that we did was discovering our purpose. And I was so grateful that I went through this training to help other people, but it ended up helping me so much because I was able to go through these exercises to help me discover my purpose. And I'm not joking. I think I did this training maybe about 11 or 12 years ago. And it was a couple exercises to help you discover your purpose. And even more impactful was to create a life purpose statement for yourself. And it's not cheesy. It's not corny. It's actually a deep dive into you. And it helps you write out a powerful, impacting life purpose statement. Not just a cheesy one, but something that moves you. And no joke, what I created going through these processes about 11, 12 years ago is the same impacting life purpose statement that I still use to this day, and it still empowers me and awakens me and makes me strong. And I use it, sometimes almost on a daily basis. It's just powerful. It's so powerful that it's been about 12 years and it's still very vivid and real and impacting to me. And it's my life purpose statement that I adopted. But if you want to do that, maybe you've never had an opportunity to create a life purpose statement or do a deep dive to just discover more about you, then I'm going to give you an opportunity. What I've decided to do is I'm going to open up a private Zoom meeting I'm going to keep it small because I want to have time to share. I'm going to limit it to the 10 people. The first 10 people that reach out to reserve their spot, I'm going to host a private Zoom meeting, and you can get on Zoom with me, and we're going to go through. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually guide you through these processes and through these exercises to help guide you how to deep dive into yourself. And not only will you discover a lot about yourself and why you're here, but we're also going to go through these exercises so you can create your own life purpose statement. And I am believing and praying and knowing that you will create something powerful that will become your life purpose statement, that 12 years from today, you'll be able to say, man, 12 years ago, Your Good Life Now, podcast, we did this exercise, and that's still going to move you, because I'm telling you, it still moves me to this day. It's my life purpose statement that I created, and I'm going to go through the exact same processes. Well, maybe not the exact same, because I have redefined them and made them even better than before. So you're going to get the new and improved revised versions, but you're going to create an amazing life purpose statement, and it's going to be awesome. So if you want to be a part of that small private Zoom meeting that I will send you an invite to, then let me know. You can I'm gonna put a link in the description where you can click on, and you can just let me know you're in, and I'll contact you and send you the info there. If you can also DM me on social media, just DM me purpose. Okay. Just put the word purpose in the DMs, and I will get your information to send you over the private Zoom link so you could be on that. If you want to email me, if you can't, maybe you're not on social media, you could email me at yourgoodlifenow@yahoo.com. Again, it's yourgoodlifenow@yahoo.com, and just email me purpose. Just say purpose. Just say purpose. I want in on the purpose thing, and I will reach out to you, and I will send you everything you need. And I'm so excited to be sharing this with you. I've shared it with many people privately, and I'm telling you, it's no joke. They have, to this day, I know some of their Instagram handles are what we worked out through that process, because it just impacted them so much. And it's just giving yourself some time. You need to invest in yourself. You need to give yourself some time. Can you give yourself about 60 minutes to 90 minutes? I think we could do it in 60 minutes, maybe 90. But can you give yourself that gift, 60 to 90 minutes, to say, you know what, I'm going to give myself a little bit of time to hang out with Frankie and do this Zoom meeting thing. And I want to just help myself discover my purpose, what I'm here for. I want to write a life purpose statement. I want to write it out. I want to have this empowering thing, and it's going to be amazing. So reach out to me on all these platforms, anywhere you can. There'll be a link in the description right there. Email me, DM me. Just say purpose, and I will get you in, and that's going to be exciting. I cannot wait to see you on the Zoom. It's going to be great. It's going to be next month in May, towards the end of May. I think it's the week of the 20th. I'll send you all the details later. But I hope this podcast is inspiring you and empowering you to really add some years to your life. Spend some time to discover your purpose, to write out your life purpose statement. Get something powerful that moves you. This isn't just like, oh, I'm here, to whatever. This is something that's going to move you and be powerful and get you in a powerful place, in a powerful state where you can find your purpose and start unlocking your potential and live the life that you were created to live. So I hope this is inspiring you and encouraging you. Remember, your purpose is not your profession. It's who you are. And when you discover that, it's going to be so amazing. And I just cannot wait to help you with that. I can't wait to do it. So again, my friends, thank you guys so much for listening to this podcast. I hope it inspires you, and let me know it just set you on fire, because it gets me excited to hear about all these great things that we're doing. So again, my friends, thank you so much for listening to your Good Life Now podcast. And as always, my friends, cheers to your good life.